I am joined today by Bodhi Rader. Thank you for speaking with me today. You just attended the premiere of Sugar.
That's right.
How
Yeah.
was that?
It was super exciting. It was great to reunite with some of the crew and cast and then people that I hadn't met. And then just, I'll be honest, it was my first real red carpet experience like that. And so I took it all in and enjoyed myself to the max. It was an amazing event. Yeah.
Excellent. Now, what can you tell the audience about Sugar and your role on the show?
Yeah, I mean if they haven't seen Sugar at all, it is a spin on a detective noir story, and there are some twists and surprises that I think will really engage viewers. And then season two just started, so the second episode just was released, third one coming out this Friday. Um, I play a deputy, a sheriff's deputy, and along with Tony Dalton, who I share a lot of scenes with, we definitely challenge Sugar, played by Colin Farrell, to see how far he'll go this season. So that's maybe all I'll say for now. Yeah,
Excellent. Well, as a noir detective series, you don't want to spoil it. So
yeah,
I
right,
think that's a
right.
good place for folks to go.
Good,
Now,
good.
you entered acting later in life. How did
Mhm.
that sort of coming at it from a more mature place? How did that inform your performance?
Yeah, no, that's a good question, Matt. I think it helps me to bring the different life experiences I've had to being in that setting. So I've had experience being in the military. And so to
Hmm.
me, certain elements of maybe playing a sheriff automatically make sense. And I can understand hierarchy and sort of the dynamics that might come to play. And that is what I drew on, especially in some of the relationships I have with the other deputies, or like I said, Tony Dalton, who plays the lieutenant. So yeah, I think it's uh, in some ways you feel like, oh, I'm behind, or I came, I had all this other life that isn't pushing my acting career forward. But then you start to see how those experiences can make your performance richer.
Now, you've appeared in a lot of action-oriented programs like True Lies and The Equalizer. How do you prepare for those kinds of roles?
Uh, I think I just try to physically stay ready. I'm not a stunt actor, but I'd like to say that if it came to it, I would do it. I'd want to do it. I guess like Tom Cruise does. But I think there's a physical element, and then it, it's just trying to understand how you fit in the story, no matter what type of character you play. Even though it could be a very action oriented show, maybe the scene or the character I'm playing is not part of that. And so I think you just have to be able to adapt to whatever gets thrown at you, which is part of the fun, honestly.
Yeah. Now you are also an accomplished martial artist, and you have
Hmm.
done some stunt work previously,
Yeah,
as I
yeah,
understand, correct? Yeah,
right.
I kind of feel like in the last, I'd say like 20 years, action-oriented movies have with like John Wick and Atomic Blonde, the James Bond films, they're being treated with more seriousness than they maybe did when I was growing up in the 80s,
Yeah,
like the Delta
over the
Force
top.
movies
Yeah,
and stuff like that. Um,
right.
h- how do you how do you feel the role as a stunt performer has evolved since those like early 80s action roles?
I think a stunt performer has to understand more about the story itself and how they plug in. And yeah, there's an element of doing a stunt that's cool because it is cool and it's amazing to share that story, or have claim that you can do that type of thing. But I think, like you said, in the 80s, maybe a lot of those films were about the spectacle, and now maybe it's being tied in more smartly to enhance the story. And of course, there's more technology available, and effects that are available, which maybe in good and bad ways take away from the actual physical performance. But I think a stunt performer just has to understand the bigger picture of how they fit in and uh, still make things believable. So yeah, I don't know if it's necessarily a detriment, but they are still a key and very maybe sometimes under uh, rewarded portion of a show because what they do is absolutely blowing sometimes, honestly.
Now, is there ever a performance or a role that you've taken on as in your career as an actor that you felt really resonated with you personally?
Um, I think what I find is that I get so drawn in to understanding what it's like to be that person. So I'll use American Primeval as an example. It was set in the mid 1800s, and I gained such a respect for people that lived during that time because I mean, for lack of better terminology, it's almost like a different breed of human that survived those conditions or got up every day and that was normal for them compared to what we're used to today. So I think it's trying to put myself in the shoes of a person in that time. And that just builds this really interesting level of respect and understanding. And I think that's what keeps me drawn to a variety of roles because you get a chance to really understand what it was like to live completely differently than yourself. Yeah.
Bringing it back to Sugar, what was the experience of working on a noir drama like that?
Yeah.
How was that for you?
I was really excited, of course, getting into day one. It was on the Paramount Studios lot, which is just gorgeous, and it was incredible just to see the storied films and shows that were made there. Um, the crew was incredibly professional, and I remember the very first day I met Colin. He was so personable and engaging, and I think that really set the tone for everyone on the show and just the feel of working on it. So yeah, I really took a lot from the experience, and I think there's a lot I learned too, just from seeing him and Tony work on how I might carry myself if I get the chance to take on a bigger role like that one day.
Yeah, is he is such an amazing actor. Like the
Yeah.
variety and range that he can do, like from Penguin
Yeah.
to like the Banshees of like it's just like
Yes.
he's
Yeah. And the
so
gentleman.
incredibly
Yeah. Yeah.
wide range of talent.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. That's fascinating.
yeah. Now, do you have a favorite moment from your time filming the show?
There is a Yeah, there's a scene that hasn't happened yet. It takes place at a barbecue. It's a fairly, um, yeah, I guess low key moment for my character and the people that I'm usually around. And then um, we are met with sugar, and things get a bit heightened. And so I think it was just the transition working much more closely with him and the energy that he brings and I'll admit it caught me off guard at first, but then it just again it just speaks to his commitment and giving everything in every scene he does, no matter if it's the cameras on him or not. And so again, it was just a great learning experience. And Adam Bernstein was the director for that episode, and he just brings a really joyful energy that lets everyone play. And so yeah, that's the first thing that jumped to mind when you asked that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now, this is a question I like to ask of everybody. If you had a dream project, could be,
Hmm.
as big or small or personal or heartfelt as you want, what would that dream project be? Like if you could make sure it got made, what would that be?
Oh, man, it's almost too big of a, realm to think about. Again, my first thought is something like Spotlight, or I'll even use Painkillers as an example, where it's a story that leaves you thinking afterwards. And I'm not sure if I know exactly what subject matter it would be, but yeah, something that seems so regular or that you understand, and then when you get to see more details or how things work behind the scenes, it leaves you wondering, okay, is this the best way things should be, or do I need to understand more about this and become a more engaged citizen? So I think it's a story that explores truth and your part in society, and yeah, I think that would be really exciting to be a part of and just see what that, if it brings some momentum to life in a positive way.
Awesome. Now,
Yeah.
if people wanted to find you on social media, see what you're doing, any upcoming projects, where could
Yeah.
they look for you?
I'd say I'm most active on Instagram, and it's just my name, Bodhi Rader, Bodhirader, and I will admit I'm not the the best social media person yet, but I'm working on it. So yeah, that's where they could find me. Yeah,
It's a hard habit to get into.
yeah,
It's-
right, right.
Well, I want to thank you for your time, Bodhi, and I
My
look forward
pleasure.
to watching you on the latest season of Sugar.
Yeah, thanks, Matt. Look forward to doing this with you again sometime. So appreciate your
Awesome.
time.